Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. Hang out with this nerd.
I'm Ted.
And today, because you guys will not leave us alone about it, we're going to D&Dize Harry Dresden.
If you want to jump down to the description below, you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips delivered straight to your inbox, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So, Harry has had quite the long career.
Indeed. So, we've got a couple things to look at here. First off, you're not getting away from he's a wizard. He says he's a wizard. So
It's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
But, you know, is being a wizard mean the same thing in the Dresden Files verse? Could we substitute sorcerer for wizard? Would it make a difference?
I don't think so. I think we could go with either of those. He learns a spell, and he favors it. You do see that he's got the ability to put more energy in a spell, so he definitely has spells that are going to level. But he's not referencing a book during his battles. So
Right.
a sorcerer could definitely work.
So, okay, so in the Dresden verse, we could say that, you know, wizards could actually be the traditional D&D wizard, or they could actually be a sorcerer.
Right.
I feel like, you know, I was saying wizard the whole time, but, like, now that I think about it, I really feel like Harry does pump his spells a lot. Like, more so than just, you know,
So
higher level spell, like meta magic feat
So he's
level.
using meta magic feats. Okay, all right. I wasn't really thinking about it, but I definitely see it. But I also have to say that he's not single class.
No, he is actually a Fey Pack Warlock.
Yeah, hands down. There is no way to refute that.
He started his Fey Pack very early on in his wizarding career. Obviously, because he does the thaumaturgy in his spell casting, he's actually a ritual caster.
Right.
So that completely makes sense. You know, which works if you made him a wizard or you just give him the ritual caster feat for wizard.
Yes.
You know, so either way, that actually works well. He's a very powerful wizard. He's very high level. So no matter what level you give him in spell casting, it's going to be up there.
Right.
And he recently leveled in Warlock too. You know, like that Warlock pack got way upgraded.
Right. Now, initially, my first thought is he's got to be human. There's only humans in our world. But the idea of
If we make him Pack of the Tome,
he would get
he actually gets ritual cast. He gets the best ritual casting in the game.
correct.
Yeah, Pack of the Chains. He's got a lot of friends and companions, but I don't see they're not familiar.
He doesn't have an imp. He doesn't have some kind of familiar because of Pack of the Chain.
Yeah, but he's got Mister. He's got Mouse now. Mouse could actually be, you know, a powerful familiar, but he's not. Yeah, he's more of a companion.
Bob is essentially an artifact level item. He's not a familiar, so you can't go that route.
Is he an item though? Yeah, he's a spirit that's trapped in a skull. Like you could go either way with that, but I don't think he's a familiar.
No.
If anything, Harry would be his familiar.
Especially after what you find out in.
Well, not anymore. Now he's Butters would be his familiar.
Well, true. What you find out in Ghost Story, that's got some stuff going on with how powerful Bob is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So okay, so we got.
So all right, so we're going.
I guess we're gonna call him human. We pretty much.
No, I got an idea here.
Right,
so they talk about him being star-born or born under the right circumstances, and it's only because of what he is was he allowed to do some of the things or able to do some of the things that he does. So since we don't really have a lot of planar options, and because he's most sorcerer, what if we just kind of give it a twist on Aasimar
and make him an Aasimar that's kind of like locked in his human form?
Yes.
And he doesn't, his true form hasn't been revealed yet. He's not evolved.
That's kind of what we're seeing with the books.
Nice.
Like, he's not at where he needs to be. There's still pieces of the puzzle he's looking for. It would say that.
Do you think Harry's dad's really Harry's dad?
I don't know. There's so many things that every so often we go back and we learn a little bit more.
So I think we're like borderlining like outsider touch / possibly human, but like it's all been hinted at. We don't really know yet.
Right. So there is something that's either more than human or not quite human about Harry.
Asimar, do you know if their +2 is in charisma or
believe
is
it is.
Or is it in wisdom? I almost see wisdom as being Harry's dump stat. like just the stuff he gets himself into, the things that he does. Like he's got a high intelligence, and he probably has like other skills that help him with awareness, like perception and maybe observant.
Right.
Because he is definitely aware of what's going around him. His senses are fairly keen and trained, but the decisions that he makes are not wise.
True.
Yeah, I know you guys are going to argue with me on this one, but he will definitely walk up to a dragon and punch it in the nose because it threatened his friends. That is a very emotional, non-wise decision. It's just the way he is.
So what do you think? Do you like the idea of Asimar?
I'm a little on the fence. Like I understand where you're coming from, and I don't think that's quite right. But I don't know that human is either. We just don't know.
All right. So
I think it might even be something weirder, to be honest.
Right, but we're sticking to the D&D. We're sticking to the Watts release stuff, and in my opinion, it's
we don't have Cthulhu touched races yet.
It's the closest thing we got. So I'm going to go with it. Your vote is on the fence between human and who knows what else.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll let you guys out there debate it. Backgrounds. If we can't go with some kind of plain touch,
I think he's actually a sage. Even though he doesn't come off as it, but his love and passion is magic, and he loves studying it. He loves learning it. He loves exploring in it. He loves creating with it. Like he always gets thrust in these situations where, he is forced to deal with things.
Doesn't he talk about being a nerd? Like that he's a nerd, because he likes reading books.
Or you could go with a variant on criminal, and because there's the spy variant, but I would go instead of spy variant, investigator.
Right.
Because he has his investigation license.
Right.
I can't remember, but has he picked locks before?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so, but there's a lot of books.
When spoiler alert, when his hand gets burned, Butters teaches him to, okay. you got to use fine motor stuff, and instead of learning to play the guitar like Butters suggested, he started picking locks. But that was later in the books. So
I thought he did the guitar thing too.
At the end of the book, he gave him the guitar, and stuff happened, and he played really well. But the following book, he talks about, I can't play the guitar to save my life.
Well, and also, like, his philosophy, too, is, like he's a wizard that doesn't believe you should use, magic to solve all your problems.
Correct.
He kind of uses magic to solve problems as a last resort.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't feel like, it's a tool like any other, and he respects it, so he uses it as little as possible, which he's not very good at that part of it. But that's the philosophy that he's talked about throughout the books.
I agree. I have no problem with, being sage. It was from a fairly young age, before he's officially an adult, because it's before he finishes high school.
He needs like 17 backgrounds. It's Harry Dresden.
Yeah, so going with Wizard's Apprentice, I totally accept. I totally will get behind.
Yeah, I don't think we have a good one yet for like an investigator, private eye type.
So the only other thing that I would put out there is there needs to be some kind of background that people are going to flock to, that's prophesized or chosen or something along those lines that says
born under auspicious signs.
That says this character is destined for great things. Because I think that's where Harry would fall, because that's moment one.
Yeah,
and they talk about that even. Yeah,
the only other wizard that's got him beat at an earlier age has got to be Harry Potter, but he would trash Harry Potter. He would light Harry Potter on fire. And then freeze him. And then shatter him. He totally would. That little lightning bolt thing's not going to help him.
Not going to help him?
No.
So he throws around the fire. He throws around the cold.
He's got the elemental affinity feat.
Yes.
Absolutely. He's got the observant feat. Tavern Brawler.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs Tavern Brawler because I'm not giving him levels of fighter or rogue or anything.
He's not having fighter. He's not having rogue. He's not having monk. He just can't have it.
No.
He doesn't. He's not going to spend his time on that.
Although he does spend time physically training. That's why I say him. That's also why I say, if I were to do it, I would say like, he's going to max out his intelligence and his charisma, and then it's con and strength all the way. He's dumping wisdom because he's got to dump something, and his dex isn't bad. I mean, to be honest, Harry Dresden probably has above average stats anyway.
Correct.
I would put him at bare minimum a 12th level character, if not higher.
I think I'd have to go higher. Maybe lower level in the earlier books. I mean, we're waiting for book 16 to come out. Like, I would say that there's a minimum of like a level per book with the stuff that he has to go through.
Okay, because I was going to say like 15.
So that would, we're waiting for book 16.
3 levels of Warlock?
I might want to go a little bit higher because he re-ups
with the Winter Queen?
Yeah. Like, he's got to get back in it in the later books.
It's true, but does it really say that it gives him game-wise?
If we're looking at 15, I'd say 10-5.
10-5?
10 Sorcerer, 5 Warlock.
Okay, and 9th level of his 5th level spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably about right. He's not casting a wish, or he's not raining down meteors.
Having the higher level of Warlock, it gives him the more slots. He takes rests. We see that. So he's getting those spells.
He's
back.
getting those 2 spells back.
I think it's 3 at that point in time. But
at 5, maybe. I don't know. I don't have it memorized. But he's got cantrips all day long.
Indeed.
So he did not take Eldritch Blast, by the way. I don't think.
Fozari.
So. Oh yeah, well, yeah, maybe with the push.
He knocks people back with it.
He does, but I always took it as like a wind attack.
That's force.
I guess
it could be wind, but it in Freak of Fozari is freeze it, shatter it.
Yeah,
it's force. It's not like it's.
That's true. So he's definitely. He needs like an Eldritch Blast punch too. With he just uses the rings as his focus. Which he definitely he does not use material components at all. It's always arcane focuses.
Yes.
Staff, rods, rings, everything. Yeah, he's rocking them out.
Absolutely. So is there anything else that we've need to touch on?
Well, for once, I think we're not going to go all that feet heavy. I'm thinking observant.
You said observant. We said he's going to get ritual caster from Warlock.
Tavern
He's
Brawler.
going to get Tavern Brawler.
Maybe athlete. He does a lot of physical training, and he
does because he says you have to be able to run away. So he might have athlete.
Mobile. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't think he's got mobile.
No, he doesn't. Well, I'm just saying he's fit. So
yes.
So
I think his high stats are con, intelligence, and charisma. Those are where he's put it in.
Yeah, that works. And because he also talks about, well, it used to be. Now it's different because now he can call on the reserves winter, and so now he's like freaking superhuman strength. But before that,
right.
He really didn't talk about being particularly strong. He always talks about being really big, and be able to use his size as leverage,
right,
and having mass.
And when you're over 6.5 feet tall, that kind of works.
It does kind of work.
And we have to think that not every aspect of what's said in the books can be manipulated into
the game.
The game. And let's face it, if this person's 5 foot tall and this person's 6'8", you've got the ability to use real world physics to your advantage. Whereas game mechanics don't allow for something like that. It's like, oh, I'm a halfling and I'm going to go grapple the troll that's 7 times taller than I am,
right,
and
really
win.
Work.
It doesn't work that way, but the mechanic says it can, so it
does.
can.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he doesn't seem to be like he's not Olympian level strength.
No. Whoa. No. Well, before.
So
now he flips freaking cars, but
But going before, the later books, he's barely above average, I would say. So he's in that 12, 13 category, and I think he's got boons that have been layered onto him by the Queen.
Yeah,
those are things that you can't really, it's hard to stat those kind of things because they're interacting with objects that we don't have a direct correlation to.
Yeah, and it's kind of what the plot needs at the time too. Sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the difference between tabletop role playing and novels.
Yes. So guys, what do you think? How would you stat Dresden? I know you guys are going to give us a lot of blowback on the sorcerer thing, but we welcome it. Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can hang out with us over on Facebook.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.